What's up, guys? John Brunson here from Addicted to the Outdoors and Spirit Life TV. And my buddies over at Grizzly asked me to talk a little bit about the Grizzly coolers, specifically the 165. So I got to thinking about it, and I said, if I'm going to talk about Grizzly coolers, specifically the 165, I have a 165 that I have literally been using for almost 10 years. So what better way to talk about a product and show its durability than to actually look at one that's been put through the ringer for almost 10 years. I think a lot of people get caught up in, all the marketing with some of these brands and it's the cool thing and blah, blah, blah. Early in our careers, we were focused more on a quality product and a quality company and good people to work with. So we had an opportunity to go a lot of different directions as far as coolers. So after meeting with multiple cooler companies, including Grizzly, and looking at the product, meeting the people, just looking at kind of the company culture, which is something you hear me talk a lot about with people we work with, it was a pretty obvious choice for us that we wanted to work with Grizzly. And that has been I'm not sure how long now, but it's been probably well over a decade. So one of the first coolers they ever sent us was the 165, and I remember because I had them specifically put the Spirit Life logo on this one, and we also have them with the Addicted logo too. So this one here has just been making its rounds for years. This cooler has, it pretty much lives on the boat, so it has spent most of its life in the sun, which is really a big deal because sun destroys everything. So understanding how a cooler is going to hold up in the sun is real important because a lot of us leave them on the boat like I do all the time. It has traveled all over the country. It has been smashed. It has been almost run over. It has been, put in the boat and flung around. It has been cut on. It has had us sit on top of it, with our body weight and, another 70 pounds of dive gear. This cooler has literally been abused. One thing about me is I am pretty rough on gear. I always have been. I've been a tester for a lot of products in the outdoor industry because I am so rough on gear, and I always give them really good, honest feedback. And so when it comes to, abusing gear, unfortunately, I'm one of those guys. So this cooler has literally just been put through the ringer. And like I said, it is probably pushing 10 years old. And the thing about Grizzly, obviously looking at this cooler after all the use and abuse for this length of time, you can tell these coolers hold up. But when you look at it, it's amazing to me just how many features, are packed into a cooler. So I'm going to try to run through all the different features as best I can because there's a lot, and just kind of give you an idea of everything that goes into making one of these coolers. So the coolers are made from rotationally molded LLDPE plastic, and they are designed to achieve even wall thicknesses for optimal durability. And it also comes with grip or slick feet, which means you can put the grip feet on so the thing doesn't move or slide around on the boat, or you can put the slick feet on, which makes it easy to drag around, especially if it's full. It also comes with a 2-inch drain, and on the 165 it's got a 2-inch drain on each side, which I really like. So the coolers are also made with a silicone rubber gasket in the lid for a super tight seal. That keeps the cold air in and extends the longevity of your ice, and I can attest to that because I've literally had this cooler full of ice on the boat, in the sun, in Florida, and come back, a day or two later and it's still full of ice. The cooler also comes with two 2-inch tie-down slots, one on each end so that you can tie it down wherever, trailer, back of your truck, so the thing's not sliding around. Another thing I like about these coolers is they have lock holes on the front corners. I like this because, man, there's a lot of times we're on trips and we've got to secure the cooler. The cooler stays in the boat. We leave the boat at the marina and we go to the hotel for the night or wherever we're going. That cooler's wide open. So one of the things we'll do is a lot of times we're not worried about someone running off with it because it's, full and weighs, 200 pounds. But it's nice to be able to lock the lid because a lot of times, like in marinas and stuff, people will go through your cooler and take stuff, but they're not really going to take your cooler. So it's nice to have these two locking holes so you can actually lock your cooler and secure it. Another thing about the Grizzly coolers is they are dry ice compatible. A lot of people don't realize that some coolers are not. Another thing is the bear claw latches on the front of the cooler. These latches are exclusively designed by Grizzly. They keep this thing super tight. They're easy to use and they're interchangeable. The hinges on these coolers are built with an integrated interlocking design to withstand the toughest conditions. All of the hard-sided coolers are pressure injected with up to 2 inches of polyurethane foam, and all hard-sided Grizzly coolers are IGBC certified. And last but not least, the cooler has built-in molded handles for easy carry. So for those of you who follow Addicted or Spear Life or both, I think one thing you know about us is we're pretty loyal to products, and we find something that works, we use it. You look at a lot of the companies we work with, we've worked with them for 10, 15, 20 years. When we started using Grizzly, that was it. We fell in love with the company. Every Grizzly product that I have put my hands on, exceeds my expectations, which is crazy nowadays. Nowadays I'm just happy if someone meets my expectations, but when someone exceeds it, that's even better. So take it from somebody that has used a lot of different coolers in my life, someone who researched the coolers really intensely, over a decade ago when I wanted to make a decision on who we wanted to work with. And now that we've been working with this company for well over a decade, and you're looking at a cooler that has been used for almost a decade and really put through the ringer, all I can say is if you're in the market for a cooler, make sure you check out Grizzly. I can assure you, you will not be disappointed.